Welcome to Coaching with Confidence and Care podcast, inspired by common topics that arise in coach training, mentoring, and supervision. I am Dr. Lubadia Samidze, the founder of Upthink Coaching. I'm an active coach trainer, mentor, and supervisor. If you are listening, you are probably looking to deepen your skills as a coach. I hope this podcast will be a helpful resource for you and contributes to your journey. Hi everyone. It's the first episode of 2025 and I'm really happy to be back. I have several topic ideas from my most recent work with coaches and I can't wait to dive in. The question that I'd love to discuss today is, how do I handle a disappointed client? If my client is or looks disappointed, what's the best thing to do? What's really going on there? Is it about something I said or did? Or is it more about the client's expectations, emotions, or unspoken needs? We'll unpack this together and explore ways to repair a coaching alliance when such moments arise. So let's get started. As with my other episodes, this one may not provide clear-cut answers because each coaching relationship is unique. However, if you are not ready to bring this topic up in a supervision session, perhaps this episode can support you in your self-reflection. Okay, disappointment. I want to acknowledge that this feeling is not easy, and I empathize with anyone feeling the pressure. You are not alone. Every coach, no matter how skilled, will from time to time encounter moments of perceived disappointment. You know, I recently read research about the negative effects of coaching on coaches, which includes disappointment in various forms, such as frustration, emotional exhaustion, or feeling ineffective. For example, almost half of respondents were disappointed because they couldn't observe long-term effects of coaching. Nearly 40% were scared that they wouldn't fulfill their role as a coach. Over 38% felt insecure, and over 36% felt frustrated that the problems their coachees were facing could not be resolved. Over 20% were disappointed that their coaching was ineffective. All in all, there were 30 different factors that made coaching cause some negative impacts on the coach. Can you imagine that? A coach may already give themselves some pressure from within, and then if they sense the client may be disappointed, then the pressure may increase even further. Well, disappointments can arise in any relational context, including coaching. To me, noticing and addressing disappointment, or even exploring its causes, is an important part of self-care in our work. It's important to remember that our ability to stay resourceful for our clients directly impacts how effective we are. There could be different triggers that cause disappointment, and some of those triggers are completely out of our control. For example, emotional transference, where clients unconsciously redirect feelings from past relationships onto the coach, and that can lead to misinterpretation of the coach's actions or words. Of course, there are factors that we can influence, and some common psychological reasons and triggers could be unmet expectations. For example, when clients enter coaching with unrealistic or unspoken expectations. At the same time, a coach may avoid addressing mismatched expectations, or they don't want to disappoint the client, or maybe they don't want to make the client angry by saying that their expectations are not realistic, or maybe even say that they're not the right type of coach for their work. If you have a client that is really disappointed, validate their experience and show genuine empathy and acknowledge their feelings. Validation doesn't mean agreeing, but affirming their experience as real and important. Saying something like, "I can see why you felt that. It makes sense to me," shows your readiness to have a conversation about that. A mismatch of styles may trigger disappointment. For example, a client seeking direct advice might feel dissatisfied with a coach who primarily uses reflective inquiry. Make sure that your clients know exactly what coaching is and what your approach is. This will help you understand what they want from you. It's very helpful when you ask them, "So, what inspired you to contact me personally? Why me? What attracted you in my background or in what I'm sharing that you thought you wanted to explore coaching with me?" Lack of progress can also trigger disappointment. Clients who perceive a lack of tangible results may blame the coach, even if progress requires deeper work or more time than initially expected. In this case, it would be valuable to revisit your contract and agreements. Change is a nuanced and highly personalized process. We can't simply reinstall the hardware or software in a client's brain to prompt different responses or behaviors. My advice is to check in with your clients regularly. Don't wait until the coaching is over or too much time has passed. If you want your clients to reflect on the change in process, help them connect the dots step by step with questions like, what have you learned today? How may this positively contribute to the change that you are hoping to make? This reflective habit can help them see and appreciate their journey. Now the silver lining. As challenging as it may be, perceived disappointment can also signal growth, as real progress often emerges from discomfort. Emotions like disappointment may not be obstacles or the end of a relationship. These could be signals of deeper themes emerging in your relationship with your client. After you repair the rupture, it may create incredible progress for your client. There's research in coaching psychology by Eric Dehan and his colleagues, which highlights that relational depth fostered through repair is one of the strongest predictors of client success. Since we started to talk about relationships, let me remind you that relational coaching focuses on the dynamic co-created relationship between the coach and client. I encourage you to pay attention to the relational field, sensing shifts in energy, emotional resonance, and implicit communication. Relationship is a transformative space, and we can facilitate and support this space. However, it's not solely about the coach or the client, but about the unique interplay of their presence, emotions, and mutual influence. The coaching relationship is a partnership. It's not a hierarchical dynamic. Both the coach and client contribute equally to the coaching process. What happens in this space is co-creation, where the outcomes, insight, and the coaching process emerge collaboratively. I'm bringing up partnership as a growing number of studies emphasize that the working alliance between the client and the coach is a key factor for coaching success. So, what is an alliance? It's a collaborative partnership between the coach and a client, which is characterized by mutual agreement on goals, alignment on tasks, responsibilities and roles, and the presence of a strong relational bond. A strong coach-client alliance is built on trust, vulnerability, and clear agreements. The alliance starts with building rapport and investing time early in the coaching relationship to establish a personal connection. When a client starts working with a coach, in their first intake session, a coach would usually co-create agreements with their client. This is such an important stage. I cannot overestimate the importance of that. Coach and client collaboratively set the agenda, define desired outcomes, and establish clear boundaries. Agreements are not only about the client's goals or measures of success. They're also about your relationship, how you're going to interact. The agreements we establish may encompass all elements of creating a shared safe space, or as we often call it, a container. To me, it's quite important to talk about deeper expectations at this stage. I believe if we just look at the surface level, probably every client would want their coach to be responsible, take them seriously, acknowledge and support them, be on time for sessions, follow through, be attentive to what the client is sharing. This is what all clients expect, right? However, there could be some deeper, unique expectations that shape the client experience, and I invite you to explore those with your clients too. This is about psychological contracting. Maybe your clients hope that you initiate check-ins a couple of times per week every other week. Maybe they hope that you show understanding towards their busy schedule and allow later rescheduling or more flexible rescheduling. We often remain unaware of our clients' inner expectations or deeper needs unless we ask. Don't overlook this stage. Relationships are complex. There is often more beneath the surface than what appears above water. Ask your client some questions like, What else is important to you as we work together? Or do you have any expectations or desires about how I could customize the process for you? Of course, in order to have such conversations, trust and rapport are important. Such conversations make people show vulnerability, and if it is not the right time, or if it is not done in a very safe way, it may be counterproductive. Once the agreements are set, regular check-ins are important to stay tuned to the relational dynamics between you and your clients, and you can periodically revisit the client's goal, satisfaction with the process, and the quality of the relationship to ensure alignment. And then, if you notice misalignment, you can address concerns proactively. Let me offer you some questions you could ask in various scenarios. For example, if you want to understand what your clients expect of your work together, say when you have a new client, you may ask them questions like, if you ever feel frustrated or stuck in our work, how would you like me to address it with you? If something doesn't feel quite right in our work together, what might be worth exploring before we try to fix it? When we explore difficult topics, what helps you feel supported in those moments? Then, if you are checking in on how the work is going and whether your clients are getting what they wanted or expected, you could ask questions like, is there anything you feel you expected from our work together that hasn't been addressed yet? Are the outcomes you imagined when we began still the ones you want to work toward? What feels most exciting or helpful to you in our work? How are you feeling about our work together? Is there anything that feels unresolved or uncomfortable? If you want to genuinely inquire about or reflect on patterns observed within the coaching relationship itself, you could ask questions like, are there moments in our conversations where you feel especially energized or maybe a bit stuck? So, what do you think those moments are telling us? How might we build on that if we were to experiment with new ways of working together? When something feels off in our dynamic, what might that say? I noticed there was a shift in our conversation earlier, and it seemed like something I said didn't land well. Can we explore that together? What could I do differently to create a space where you feel even more supported? How can we hold space for what might feel unclear or are unresolved? Is there anything about how I listen or respond that you feel could better meet your needs? Most clients appreciate the courage that it takes to address these moments. It shows them that you care. Remember that clients don't need us to be perfect, but they need us to be present and authentic. If you feel something is off, my sincere advice is not to hold back or push aside that feeling, as doing so may backfire. Supervision offers a safe space to explore a difficult coaching moment through a non-judgmental lens. And supervision supports relational coaching by strengthening your ability to navigate complex emotions. Additionally, relationship with a supervisor may reveal some parallel processes that you might be experiencing when you work with your clients. If you feel that I might be the right supervisor for you, you are very welcome to contact me for a discovery call. Well, that's about it for today. I would be excited to hear about the strategies that work for you when you feel your client may be disappointed. Please reach out and share your insights. If you believe this episode could resonate with other coaches, I encourage you to spread the word on your social media. And don't forget to tag me on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with you there. For anyone aiming to enhance their coaching skills, check out the Upthink Coaching website. We offer programs tailored for both novice and experienced coaches, as well as mentoring and supervision support. It's www.upthinkcoaching.com. I appreciate you taking the time to join me today. My next podcast episode is going to be on finding the balance between showing your own unique coaching style in sessions while keeping the client in the spotlight. I hope you join us next time. See you in the next episode.